Alright, the second season of Cells at Work is coming out. Looks like the first episode just dropped. Better see where they're starting off. I haven't mentioned anything about Cells at Work since my review after the first season concluded a couple of years ago. Has it really been that long? Geez, I haven't even made a video saying I was excited for the second season because it felt like I was understood. That was probably not good. Well, it's not like I'm running a Cells at Work channel anyway. Let's see what we got here. Wait a second, what kind of germ is this supposed to be? What are you doing here? Who the heck is that? A bump? Wait a minute, this wasn't in the manga! Welcome back to the Spam channel, people of Earth and elsewhere, and guess what? Cells at Work Season 2 is finally here! And while I'm not the kind of person to bother with reviewing every single episode of a show that I'm watching as a season comes out, I figured I'd make an exception to the single episode review format and get my thoughts about this anime original content spearheading the long-awaited second season of that other show that David Production is animating that I really like. P.S. Yes, I will talk about Stone Ocean if and when that happens and it gets announced. It looks like we'll have to be waiting until April or so to get that news, or at least I hope that's what's going to be announced in April. I'm not gonna lie, I've been in a really bum mood lately, and I didn't expect even Cells at Work to be a decent pickup for me at this point. But, man, was I wrong! I have to talk about this. Let's get going. Also, I'm going to be very blatantly unapologetic about spoilers here. Tread lightly, but really, don't worry if you like the show. I don't think watching this video is going to change how you feel about the new season. So, first things first, as I stated at the start of this review, this episode, Bump, is anime original content. Now, when it comes to adaptations from manga and such, entire episodes devoted to subjects not covered in their original media are often branded with this lousy word, fillers. Because they often serve to only pad out runtime, episodes, or waiting for the source content to drag out long enough to work with the main story again. Early 2000s shonen and shoujo anime were notorious for this. But this is not an early 2000s shonen or shoujo anime adapting an ongoing manga. This is Cells at Work, and getting this original content is kind of a breath of fresh air. The show is mostly episodic, and you can go from one episode to another fairly easily because the material is mostly made to help you learn about the content it's representing in these mostly fun and colorful ways. Seeing as the original Hataraku Saibou manga hasn't had a new addition to it in years, I enjoyed the fact that they added something I hadn't seen before, and managed to make it fit into the rest of the series really smoothly while adding a never-before-seen character. Let's see exactly what they decided to do here. The episode does primarily what most new seasons of anime that have been off the air for a while do. They reintroduce you to the primary cast members and put a little fan service in here and there to get you back into it. In this case, fan service takes the form of an episode focused on our adorable little friends, the platelets. More specifically, this one with the backwards cap that you may have noticed palling around with the primary platelet in the last season. Secondary Platelet-chan is self-conscious about being weaker than the others, and has to learn to keep her chin up and work as hard as she can to make up for that. She gets a pep talk from the primary white blood cell, our guy Neutrophil number 1146, and is told not to have such doubts. That's when the bump happens! Phew, a bump to the head is definitely new. Jumping through some rather predictable hoops, Backwards Cap gets her moment and the day is saved once again thanks to the Powerpuff Platelets. The plot is straightforward and endearing and manages to ease us back into the world and body of Cells at Work, and has some subtle nods to some of the content that will be shown in later episodes. How's about that? I actually really like this. But that's just the formalities. Now we get to talk about the real reason for this video, the Megakaryocyte. Oh my gosh, they added in a Megakaryocyte. So I had to correct myself, it's not like she was completely never before seen, but the only appearance of the Megakaryocyte in the manga is in the abbreviated differentiation of blood cells right before the bone marrow chapter. Man, is it good to see her. I'm completely geeked out at this, guys. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in any of my other videos, and I'm pretty sure folks have learned this little tidbit from watching other folks talk about the series, but platelets, that is the thrombocytes, in and of themselves are not actually individual cells, like the erythrocytes and leukocytes. What they are fragments that have broken off of other cells and are coded to perform the jobs that we are shown in series. And guess what kinds of cells they split off from? Yep, the Megakaryocyte. Very big, all over the bone marrow. The fact that she's dressed like a platelet, but she's like a full-grown woman is great, and the baby harnesses just really make her design. I mean, one day, these babies are just gonna kind of break off from her and be fitted into these kindergarten outfits and start their platelet training. It's great. She's great. Look at her teeth. It's great. I want to call her the mommy cell. That's her name now. We also got more time with Neutrophil number 4989 in this episode than like all of his time in the previous season combined, and I feel blessed. This episode is a treasure. As a fan of the show, I am very, very grateful that this exists. Guys, there's also a new opening sequence. Look at the gut bacteria. Look at the characters that we do recognize. Look at the new characters. Cancer is everywhere. There's dengue fever, the standard cell. They added in a Megakaryocyte, the ending song. I just noticed that the lymph nodes here are in the anatomical diagram and have always been there, but I've been neglecting them until the color of the diagram was changed. Guys, they're setting up so much stuff. Okay, this season is gonna be great, everybody. Let me just calm down a bit and explain a little bit about why I feel this way, besides the fact that I'm just a huge geek for this series. I wholly expect the second season to cover all of the bits from the manga that weren't the last time, and then some apparently. In the theme song, I already see a number of nods to those chapters like acne and dengue fever, which keep an eye out for that JoJo reference when that episode comes up. Of course, besides making sure we get glimpses of the old cast and getting a bit of a friendly reminder about what they do, this opening really pulls no punches in terms of showcasing what a major part of this season is going to cover the Volume 5 arc of the manga, which is just one long story featuring our normal cell friend who was introduced in this season's OVA bonus episode where they talked about the common cold. Which I can't overstate how happy I am that they went a little above and beyond to make that episode happen, and introduce this guy before the season, where he will be a rather important part of the story, came out. And on that note, if you've seen the first season, and you've seen this opening, I'm sure you don't have to be told how unsubtle they're being about what the other most important part of the Volume 5 arc is. I know this is short, but I really had to go and get this out. I am once again really fired up to watch more cells at work. Looking at this final smear, this picture that they have in the ending sequence, I'm very confident in this next season being able to live up to the reputation of the first one, or maybe even be better. They are doing Acquired Immunity in the Payers patch next week, you guys. The Payers patch! It's like one of my favorite chapters in the manga. I'm psyched. This is fantastic. It's something positive, and I really needed this, and I really wanted to share it with all you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any comments to make about my commentary or about the episode, please put them in the comment section, and don't forget to press the like button. Feel free to check out more of my videos or subscribe to get future content, and if you do, make sure you hit that bell so that you can get the updates as they come. I've got some long and coming projects on the docket that will hopefully be coming out soon, and you can find the links to my various social media and the art piece in the description. Once more, thank you for clicking on this video and staying through to the end. I truly appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Ciao! Look at how centered 4989 is. He's right next to our primary neutrophil. There's the mommy cell, and the other neutrophil squad members, 2626, 2048, and 2009. Killer T is holding the primary platelet, and that's really cute. Basophil, so many other platelets. There's that one blood cell from the transfusion during the season finale. The lactic acid bacteria. Here's the normal cell. Cancer. You know, yeah, at this point, if anyone is shocked when Cancer Parte Dos happens, they're going to look like a fool. Get out of there. You're not a member of this family. The body disowns you. Shoo! Shoo!